Well, the difference this suspension has made is quite incredible, really. It just increases my confidence in bends because I'm not constantly worried about hitting a drain or a pothole, rough bit of road, and having it bounce me across the lane, potentially into the oncoming lane, which is what it's done in the past. I've currently got it set at 4 clicks compression, 10 clicks rebound. And for these sorts of roads, that's perfect. At the moment, the preload is as it came, so that might need to be backed off a little bit. Oh yeah, it's just so much nicer. And it'll mean I'm able to ride for longer because my butt isn't getting so hammered by that pretty solid seat. Yeah. And with the front done as well, eventually. Oh. It'll be a fantastic bike. I mean, this road, I've not been down this specific one, but I ride down these sort of roads quite a lot, and this would just be painful. It would be unbearable to do much of this. I'd be getting thrown out of the seat, I'd be bouncing around. But what's so annoying is that, I mean, this is 600 quid retail, you know, it's middle of the road. But at cost, they can't be more than 150 quid, surely. You know, by the time there's distribution, markup, retailers, middleman, if 600 quid is at the end of all that, then surely Triumph could wear 150 quid on the cost, or even if they pass it on. I mean, when you're dropping 11.5 grand on a bike, I mean, I bought this used, a year old, and I did that. A big part of that was because I knew the suspension would be rubbish, and then I could justify the difference between a new one and a very likely used one. I bought it with 3,000 miles on it to pay for suspension upgrades. I mean, just that little manoeuvre there with that bumpy road and a drain cover and a last minute shift over to the left because of an oncoming vehicle, there's every chance I'd have been off with the old suspension. It just wouldn't have been able to cope with all of that. And it might just be in my mind, but it seems to roll into corners so much better. Yeah, It's a really poor show from manufacturers when they do this. You know, this is a reasonably sporty bike. It might be retro, but it's got a good lump of power. It's a back roads scratcher, really. And to sell it with such dreadful suspension is a really poor show. It's just Triumph taking the piss out of their customer base. And they addressed the problem somewhat with the 2021 onward model, but in a really bad way, I thought. The rear suspension is exactly the same as it is on this bike. And the front, you know, they've put upside downers on it, which the reality is, at this sort of price point, the difference between upside down and right way up is negligible. And also, upside downers don't really... Hello. I digress a little, but this is what happens. You need to get over, don't you? Yeah. This is what happens with the windy road options on TomTom, which I absolutely love. It's completely changed my motorcycle life. I've had some incredible days out using this. In the general area where I live, this is a busy one though. The trouble is local knowledge, and so they all whip around. I've been guilty of it in the past myself. Although this is a brand new road to me, I don't know this. So I'll have to be a bit careful. But yeah, windy roads, awesome, awesome on the TomTom. Introduce you to roads you never knew of in your locality and far beyond. It makes it for an amazing day out. I've had some of the best rides in the UK of my life since I've been using this. But I digress. Yeah, the upside downers on the new Speed Twin, not in keeping with the overall style, I don't think. And the new brakes, those monoblock Brembos, are awesome, but it just looks wrong. If you're buying a retro, it needs to be retro. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, I've not ridden the new one, but again, I mean, the improvement in those front forks is marginal by all the accounts of the people that have taken it out for a road test. Leave them right way up and just put some adjusters on. Leave them right way up and just improve the quality. When you look at the actual retail cost of this stuff, you know, a decent set of fork cartridges for the Speed Twin, a good set from someone like Nitron or K-Tec, even the Andriani ones, you know, they're between £450 and £500, maybe £5.50, but you get the picture. At cost, it's peanuts in the grand scheme of the bike, and Triumph could do it. And then straight away, yeah, This is going to be fun. And then straight away, they'd have an amazing bike. Straight out of the box. Whoa. People wouldn't have to spend a load of money on aftermarket. They don't need to put the best in. It could still just be, you know, reasonable, but better than the rubbish that goes on it. This is all lovely, isn't it?